Yo, what's good, gang? We finna jump right in, but first, a quick plug for my TibX store. You can check out my latest drops on there at Cappuccino Customs. So with this tutorial, I'm finna show y'all how to import a model from GTA 5 and texture it with Substance Painter, then export it with Blender and Sollumz and add it to your FiveM server. To start, we need to open up Blender, put that default cube on a t-shirt, but for real, delete that default cube. Then you wanna go to this website, Greasy tool/catalog. Don't worry, all links will be in the description. Let's pick an easy shirt for the NPM free mode character. Find the model's file path, then open up OpenIV and locate the file. Make sure you are in edit mode and copy the YDD file to your project folder. You can also use Code Walker, it really just user preference, but later I will grab the textures with it. Also, so Blender can have the rig information, copy the NPM free mode YFT to your project folder as well. Then open the YDD with Code Walker and download the textures. Specifically, we will need the normal map to use in Substance. I will do a future tutorial on how to create your custom normals with Substance, so stay tuned and subscribe. Next, we need to convert our downloaded DDS images into PNGs for Substance. You can use this free website convert.io to do the conversion. You really only need to do the normal map, as that is what we will use for Substance Painter. Once you got the PNG normal, import the YDD into Blender with Sollumz. Make sure you have the NPM free mode YFT in the same folder when importing to bring the rig data with it. Now Shift D to duplicate and right click clear parents and keep transforms. We will use the duplicate mesh to texture in Substance. We need to have the proper material set up for Substance, so we will delete the GTA material and create our own. Give it any name and export as an FBX. Copy these settings for your exports to Substance. Now open up Substance Painter. Keep this on the low, but look up Gen P if you don't have or can't afford to buy or rent the official program. You can also save some bread and get the Steam version, which comes with a perpetual license, which is what I use and recommend. Okay, now create a new file, import your FBX file. Copy these settings. And make sure to click on Import Baked Maps and import your normal map PNG we converted earlier. Go to your texture set settings and apply the normal map you just imported. Let's do our initial bakes. Click on the croissant icon at the top right to open the bake window. Copy these settings. Now hit bake, let Substance cook. Then click the brush icon next to the bake icon top right to get back into the paint window. Now I'm just going to show you a basic texture workflow so y'all can get your first asset in the game. Just click and drag any fabric material y'all would like. You can get more from the free Adobe Community Asset website or any 3D marketplace, for example, ArtStation. I'm finna go with a dark gray with a slight navy blue tone in my example. Now this is optional, but if you have a design for the shirt, click and drag it to your Substance. If it has color, upload it as a base color texture, or more advanced way is to create a white mask with, for example, my logo. You can use the mask to create different materials for your design or logo. Just drag it in and place it on the mesh in 3D space, or better yet, since we have good UVs, just place it on the UV editor. Bet this looks fire. Now this gets a little more advanced. Add a rust material, set it to color only, change the color to a somewhat brownish dark color, or just a similar but different tone than your fabric. This will be used to add more details and break up the uniform color of our base fabric. Now add a black mask to the rust and add a mask generator that looks good. In my case, I'm using a fabric edge damage. This is where you get creative. Play with the settings a bit. Then add another rust material with black mask. Then in my example, I use Dirt Dusty. Play with the settings a bit. Let's check our base image maps. We want to look at our base color, roughness, which we will convert to specular later, and our combined normal. Just check them, make sure they look A1. Now I'm just going to give them some final edits. Bet now we are finished texturing. Click File, Export Textures. Then create or use a preset that only uses base color, which will be our diffuse, roughness, which will be our specular, and normal. Set them all to 8 bits in PNG and lower the resolution to something respectable. In my case, I'm going with 1K. If anything, 2K should be your max. Copy these settings, then export to your project file. Bet all our textures are straight gas. Now before we bring them into Blender, we have to convert our roughness into specular. You can do this in multiple ways with almost any basic image editor. For this tutorial, I will use this free website, Pixlr Editor. Again, all links will be in the description. In Pixlr Editor, drag in your roughness image, then click Adjustments, then Invert. This will give us our specular, so export that. Then go back to Convert IO and convert all your textures from PNG to DDS. This will allow us to put them into our Sollumz shader. Now here is where you need to pay attention. We are now going to set up our asset to go into your FiveM server. First, let's rename our DDS images. We need to use our component name here. So for base color, we name it JBib diff 000 A uni. For specular, we name it JBib spec 000. And for normal, we name it JBib normal 000. Bet now go back to Blender. We can delete or hide the mesh we duplicated for Substance Painter. Let's work on the model we pulled in from the game. Select the mesh and delete the Sollumz shader. We will create a new PED shader. Now import your DDS images into the corresponding nodes in the shader. Make sure to embed your normal and specular. For diffuse, embed if you have just one single texture. If you have more than one, leave embed unchecked. Now let's do a quick check to make sure we still have our vertex colors and weights from the game. For vertex colors, we will do orange for 1 and black for 2. Stay tuned for another tutorial going in depth on vertex and weights. If your weights are not there for whatever reason, re-import your game mesh or another one of similar shape, then transfer the weight. Now make sure your mesh has a armature modifier and the target is set to your rig, and make sure the mesh is parented to the last empty in the rig hierarchy. If not, you can shift click and drag it onto the empty in the scene hierarchy. Bet so now we finna export Rage assets with Sollumz. Copy my settings here. Next, we open our YMT editor. Again, all links are in the description. Click File, New. Now name your component what you want the DLC name to be in game. For me, it's YT shirt. Click submit. Now add your component. Now this is where you tell it how many diffuse textures you have. In my case it's 1, so I don't click on +1 texture. Now hit file, save, and save to your project folder. Okay, so now we open CodeWalker or open IV, whatever your preference. Create a new folder in edit mode. Now drag and drop your ydd.xml you exported from Blender. Check it out, make sure it's some pressure, no cap. Now create a new YTD. Give your YTD your full DLC name plus your diffuse name separated by the caret symbol. For example, mine is npm free mode 0 1 caret jbib 000 a uni.ytd. Save that. We will add our diffuse texture to it in a bit. Now while we are here, let's rename our YDD. Rename it to your full DLC name plus the caret jbib 000 u.ydd. Save that. So now we are going to add our diffuse texture to our YTD. Open the YTD, click Add. Select your diffuse and save. Yup, that's simple. Now let's copy our YMT and put that in our stream folder. This will be structured for adding the asset to your FiveM server. Next, copy the YDD and the YTD from CodeWalker into your stream folder under Resource. Now finally, we create our meta file in our FX manifest. Create a new text document, name it your full DLC name .meta. In my case, it's npm free mode 01 YT shirt .meta. Now create a new text document again. We will name this one FX manifest.lua. Now come over to this site here. Once again, all links in the description. There is some text we will have to copy and paste into our documents we just created. Scroll till you see this section. Copy and paste this text into your meta file. Now we change some data to be relevant to our asset. In my case, I changed MPF to NPM. Then I changed my DLC name to YT shirt. Next, I changed my full DLC name to my meta file name minus the meta. Then I go back to the site and copy the E character from male peds. Paste that. Skip creature metadata. Click save. Now let's edit our FX manifest. Go back to the site. Copy this text, then paste it into your FX manifest. Now change the name of the meta files to match your meta file in both fields. Click save. Alright gang, we did it. Set up the asset in your server config and go check it out in your server. Let's check out the shirt on mine. Oh shit, this is pressure. Sheesh. Goddamn, my guy got the ice too. Yo gang, make sure to like and subscribe for more GTA and FiveM tutorials. Appreciate it, and with that, I'll catch y'all in the next one.